Hey there, I am live for the first time in a really, really long time. And I wanted to come on because I wanted to specifically address something that is particularly good this time of year, and that is how to re engage with your LinkedIn network. We have all these connections and then they kind of disappear from our world, right? It's hard to always stay connected with, presumably thousands of connections. So, why this time of year? Because, of course, the summer has passed. We want to re-engage with people that we've already had some sort of touch point with, right? They're more warm than, going to super cold audiences. So this topic of how to re-engage with your LinkedIn network is particularly relevant right now. And of course, they say, the easiest client to get is one that you already had. But then after that is people that have already been exposed to your marketing message and have you in their view, so to speak. But maybe just kind of have I'm trying to see if I'm online here. Uh, maybe have like been disconnected from your like little bubble, if you will. So before I go into that, I just did want to share that next week I'm going to be doing a masterclass called the LinkedIn Client Attraction Masterclass. You can go to liworkshop.com. It's September 29 and 30, October 1st. It's a free workshop. Register now. I'm covering the 3 C's: connections, content, and conversations, which is the perfect little system for going onto LinkedIn and finding ideal clients and connecting with them and engaging with them, and then having conversation with them to get them off of LinkedIn. Our goal to be on LinkedIn is to get people off of LinkedIn, right? So that's what I'm going to cover in the 3 days. It's very interactive. It's basically, you're going to learn something, you're going to go take action, we're going to learn from it. If you've ever attended any of my workshops, they're like super interactive. So invite you to join that. If you're new to LinkedIn, this is going to be a great primer. If you're already on LinkedIn, but you're struggling a little bit to figure out how to navigate it, this also is a really excellent workshop because it really is going to help dial in the fundamentals. Okay. I know there's all kinds of tips and tricks and everything, but the fact of the matter is at the end of the day, it's all about simplicity and taking action. So that's really the core of it. And it's the way I grow my business, these 3 C's. And I know that it'll be helpful, for those of you who are using the platform for your business. All right. So I'm still not sure I'm live, but I'm just going to hope that I'm live here. Let me see if I can take a look. Oh, I am live. Okay. So let's talk about it. As I mentioned, you're on LinkedIn. You've probably been on LinkedIn for years and you've over time connected with new people. But, you've made that initial investment, but only about 10, 12, 15% of your connections are going to see the posts that you share. Okay. So let's say you get all these new connections. It's easy to assume everybody's going to see those posts, but it's not true, which is why if you don't engage with people in the DMs or get them off of LinkedIn onto your email list, for example, or in a call, let's say, it can be difficult to continue maintaining visibility with that new connection. You connected with them for some reason. So we want to continue as I call the path to yes. Okay. And so we are going to re-engage all of those amazing connections that you have that maybe don't know you're around anymore because they're not seeing your content. Okay. So before we, I'm going to give you a very specific step-by-step in 1 minute, but I do want to contextualize our frame of mind about what we're really doing. We want to think of this as networking, right? Imagine going to a local networking event and you see somebody and you saw them at the last meeting. You want to kind of have that sort of vibe. You want to be normal and human and not go up to them and say, "Hey, I have, this new free guide. Do you want it?" Right? We're going to approach people like people. This is your differentiator, my friends. Again, simplicity. You don't have to do anything convoluted or clever or weird. You're just going to be yourself. Okay. So let's just go into this re engagement with your LinkedIn connections with a sense of normalcy of being who you are, okay? The awesome person that you are. You essentially are reopening a relationship that you already started, okay? All right. Now, the other thing, you want to focus on what I call the MVA, the minimum viable action. When you re-engage people that already knew you, that already know of you, you don't want to, again, just come up and like bludgeon them with some offer or something. You want the minimum viable action. What that means is, what is the tiniest action you can get them to take? And that's it. Okay. That could be a reply to your DM. That could be, yes, downloading something that you offer them. But we're not going to go in with a sales mindset. We're going to go with a path to yes mindset. Okay. We're on the path. We're not at yes yet. All right. So again, you have all these connections, right? And now you want to re-engage them. What is the simplest thing to do? Well, it's really easy. You're going to go into LinkedIn to the top. You're going to see that, where is that? Now I don't know where that is. You're going to go to My Network right at the top of your screen. Okay. My Network. It's the one with the like two little people. Okay. When you click on that, and you're going to see something called connections on the left side of your screen. And that connections is where your first connections, these are people that you already connected with. Okay. That's where the people that you already, the two of you said, yes, we want to be connected. Okay. There was a consent. There was somebody invited and somebody said, yes, I do want to be connected. And then you connected. Okay. And those people, once you go there, you're going to see something called search with filters. What does that mean? It means that of all of the first connections that you have, who do you want to focus on? Who do you want to re-engage? The goal here isn't to re-engage with all 3,000 of your connections, because chances are at least a third of those people are people that are not even your ideal client anymore. They're people from your past, which is great, but not your ideal client, right? So you want to think about, out of all of my connections, who do I actually want to invest time in? When we talk about selling, we have to be precise about how and who we spend our time with. We want to spend and engage with people who are most likely to become clients. Okay. So the simplest way to do that is that once you see that search with filters, you're going to see all filters. Click on that. Okay. Then you basically can enter in a couple of fields that say, look, I don't really want to re-engage with people outside of, let's say, California or Los Angeles or the United States. Okay. Depending on the kind of client that you work with regionally, you definitely want to put in some kind of geographic location. And my recommendation is always start small and then expand. Okay. So maybe you don't want to start with the United States unless you know that your connections are typically all over the country. Start with a state, maybe the state that you're in. Okay. If you're super local, then go with, like in my case, I would go with Los Angeles metropolitan. But truthfully, state is probably a good place for you to start. Okay. And then you're going to put the industry in some cases. If you specifically work with the real estate industry, put that in. And then, of course, the title. So in my case, it might be founder. In your case, it might be operations consultant. It might be, so for example, if you specifically work with people who have the title of manager, then you might really probably want to put an industry in there to kind of filter it out. All right. And that's it. So when we talk about re-engaging our network, we've already invested in these people, but we're not going to be able to go re-engage with all of them. And so we're going to just find a little bit of a smaller group of people. Okay. And that's it. Now we just have to figure out what to say to them. Okay. Now we have to figure out what to say to them. And basically, you have a couple options. I'm going to talk about in 1 second. Just before I do, I want to remind you, you can see on the screen that next week I'm doing a LinkedIn Client Attraction Masterclass. It is free. It is 3 days. It's September 29 to October 1. Go to liworkshop.com, register. I'm covering the 3 C's of LinkedIn, and I'm going to give you a very simple, easy to take action process to get leads from LinkedIn that can become your best clients. And that is connections, content, and conversations. Okay. All right. So check it out. You can go there, find out more information. Love to see you there. Okay. So now we've got a whittled down list, a focused list of who we want to engage with. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to well, first of all, we're going to look at their profile. Why? Because we know that everybody changes jobs, they leave their company, they go work for somebody else. So it's really important to just take a look and see maybe they're at a new company. Now, this is the easiest thing to do, which is if somebody has moved, if something has changed, you can send them a DM and say, hey, I see you're now at XYZ company. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. Don't say anything else. Just say that. If they're posting and they're recently posted about a conference they went to or a vacation they went on or whatever it is, or something specific about their expertise, comment on it. Okay, comment on it. Simple. That's it. Just comment. That's all you have to do. People work really hard on creating content. And when people comment on that content, they're going to like you and they're going to remember you. Okay, so it's a really great way to engage. Okay, so number one, if something's changed, you can DM them. If they're posting content, you can start with a comment, okay? And then you can go to the DMs after. The other thing you can do is simply, if you know them kind of well, but they never converted into a client, you could just go to the DMs and say like, hey, Susie, how are you doing? Just wanted to see how you are or something like that. If you already know the person really well, don't say that to somebody you don't really know. Okay. But that's another option. Just keep it light. Remember the fundamentals that we just talked about. We're being human. We're just keeping it easy. We're reopening the relationship, which doesn't mean we're going to come at them aggressively. And number two, we're looking for the MVA, the minimum viable action. We're not looking for a sale here. We're looking for them to even just reply is a lot for people. All right. We're all super busy. So let's not discount a simple reply. It's very, very meaningful. Okay. The other thing you can do is you kind of have to decide in your own business if you are spending a lot of time one-to-one, meaning like you invest, let's say 8 months with somebody, you're spending a really long time, then I would go in with something really more personal and not personal, but more specific, to that person. That's going to take a little bit more time to figure out what to say. The alternative is to do it a little bit more at scale. And what I mean by that is, in order to do that successfully, I should say, my recommendation is to come to them with a resource of some kind. Okay, have a free guide. Maybe you're doing, like I'm doing this workshop, right? I'm going to go to my DMs. I'm going to select a certain number of people that fit my ideal client criteria. And I'm going to say, hey, I have this new workshop. If you're interested in, improving how you use LinkedIn, then this workshop would probably be a good investment of your time. And you would definitely learn some things. Okay. So if you're going to go in with the more personalized thing of approach, that's awesome. Okay. It is going to take a little more time. So if that's your business model, so to speak, in terms of selling, do that. If you have if you want to reach more people, then I definitely recommend, offering them a lead magnet, what we call lead magnet, or freebie, some sort of resource. And that could be a PDF, it could be a workshop, because when you do that, you just don't, you're basically saying, look, I have this thing. And if you're interested in this thing, here's how to get it. But it's less demanding of them. You're not asking them for a response. You're not asking them to give you any information. You're just asking them. You're not really asking for anything, frankly. You're saying, I have this thing, and you use the if this then that formula. If you think this could help you, then here's this thing. It's not presumptuous. It's not spammy. It's not assumptive. One of the biggest problems with these DMs is these people just assume all these things. Oh, I know I can help your company. What? That's so annoying, right? You don't know anything about me. Don't tell me you can help me. You don't actually know, right? But if this, then I have this thing, right? The point of all this is that you probably have connections in your network right now who could be your clients, who just kind of have lost touch with you, who you have lost touch with. They didn't end up on a newsletter email list, so you haven't been able to nurture them that way. They're not seeing your content regularly. And you're busy. Maybe they haven't met the top list of people that you're regularly engaging with. Okay. So that's it. You could literally mark out an hour and send a bunch of DMs and re-engage with a number of people. You could choose 10 people today, 10 tomorrow, and 10 Thursday or whatever the next day after that. And that's 30 people. Okay. So let's recap. You've already invested in these people because you made some decision along the way to connect with them. Maybe they could be great clients. They already know you. Number two, you're going to use the search filters to find first connections with very specific parameters, title, industry, location. You're then going to either comment on their content or send them a DM. And we're going to keep it light. We're only not going to ask for a lot. We're not going to sell. We're just going to go in with a resource or asking them how they're doing or talking and maybe even something about their industry. Maybe it's like an industry that's there's specific regulations in the city of Los Angeles that might be impacting them, right? You can go in and say, hey, a lot of my clients are dealing with a specific regulation. We've helped them in this way. If you want to learn how we've helped them, let me know. That is a little bit more of a direct message, but it is essentially like a resource. It's maybe like a conversational resource, but essentially you're going in with that, as we say, value, right? Okay. Everything is available to you. Nothing is keeping you from doing this. Nothing. It's very simple. These people already know who you are. Maybe they don't remember connecting with you, but you're connected already. And it's just sometimes a light touch, as you would in a networking event when you see somebody you saw last meeting in person. Hey, how's it going? Or mention something that you remember about talking with them. Just keep it light. And if you want to do it in a more scaled way, then go in with a resource that they can opt into and they don't necessarily have to give you too much of their time. They're still in control to take advantage of the resources and value that you provide. All right. So that's it. I just wanted to run that by everybody and give you a little bit of direction on, people that you could re-engage with, that some of which would likely become your client. Okay. That's all. That was fun. I've been on live for a while. Oh, don't forget liworkshop.com. I will see you on the 29th of September. If you register, it's free. It's 3 days. You're going to walk away with really having taken action on the 3 things that you need to be doing to generate leads for your business: connections, content, and conversations. And I'm going to tell you what to do, how to do it. We're going to get rid of anything keeping you from doing those actions. You're going to take action, and then we'll debrief together as a group. And the recordings will be available. I'm just going to say that, but it's so much more fun live. It's so much better to do things in community. So register today, and I will see you on Monday.